Tell us a little bit about matrix finishing in Delaware, all that you all do there, and your size, and tell us a little about it.
All right, MatrixFinishing. We're a year old at this location. We have a brand new 53,000 square foot plant.
Hmm.
We're one of the larger lines on the East Coast. Our oven and system is set up to run AMA 2605. We can do 30-foot extrusions hung from the line.
Wow. Okay.
Aluminum. Yep. We also can do like 43 to 50 foot if we bypass. I mean, our oven is 90 foot long, so theoretically we could do 90 foot, but the most we've ever done is 50 foot.
Gotcha.
And that is on steel square tubing.
Gotcha.
We have a 5-stage, or if you count the halo rinse, it's a 6-stage. We use an alkaline cleaner, a rinse, RO water, and then the 5th stage is zirconium.
Okay.
So a zirconium spray on, and that's where you get your 2605.
Gotcha.
Of course, then you go to your dry off booth, makes a turn, comes into your GEMA environmental room, where there's a GEMA magic booth. With 12 automatic guns, 2 manual stations. It's 100% reclaimed. Latest and greatest equipment.
Wow.
We have after that, it goes into a 90-foot long 1-turn oven. Comes out, taken down, and packaged.
Gotcha.
Okay. We have a lot of storage room here.
Okay.
So we make sure people do not leave their product out in the rain. As soon as they're done with their fabrication, it's brought here and we stow it in the back and we distribute.
Gotcha.
With that, we also have extensive trucking. We have 53-foot drop bodies. We have that's open. We have Constagos, and we also have box trailers, 53 foot.
Gotcha.
And everything went down from there.
Right. So you're saying you're about a year old at that location. How old is the company overall then?
This company's a year.
Just a year. Okay. Tell us about how you all got started, where that came from, and what was, I'm sure there was a definite need for it. So
gentleman down here, and I've known each other for years. And he owns a manufacturing company. And he can never find powder coat. Also, what he could never do is, once he found one, he can never get it a quote. And I was like, there's not really a huge problem there. I don't understand. So I got together with a landowner down here. He decided to build a building. We leased it. We're leasing it. And then we went in and got some capital and got the equipment.
Right.
And that's how it started.
Right. And what was your experience with powder coating?
I've been doing engineering and powder coating forever. Manufacturing everything from lasers, machining, everything. And I've done 3 other ones, businesses, set up 3 lines. And they were for military use, for shipboard equipment.
Right.
So I've been through this 3-stage iron faucets, the 5-stage iron faucets, and this is my first 2605. With the 2605, we have already got our certifications through IFS, TCI, Sherwin-Williams, and Tiger Drylac.
Gotcha. All of those. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
So I didn't want to get one. I wanted to make sure our, chronic overdue, or I made sure we had it through 4 different suppliers.
Right.
And that gives us 4 different advertising avenues also.
Gotcha. I was going to say, you're very fortunate that, you can kind of design this facility the way you wanted it. You knew it had to be done, especially with the size of the parts you're handling. A lot of people, they're just landlocked. They can't do that. They can't turn parts. That had to be a nice little luxury to have to do that.
Oh, I used to be the end user for years. I've been doing engineering and manufacturing since, oh geez, I'm 60 now, 40 some years. And being the end user, nothing really made me as upset as going to a powder coater and seeing my stuff sitting in their parking lot. All right.
Right.
Before it's processed and after. And then having them tell me that some of my parts are missing.
There you
You
go.
know?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
So you're bringing
everything's
all
in our
that
building. It never sits out there.
Right. So you're bringing all that baggage that you had to deal with and saying, if you can get rid of that, you could treat customers and treat their parts right. You could probably win a lot of margin share of the work out there, I'm sure. With that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plus, I get it what it's to be the end user. I'll turn your quote. Give me a call. I'll quote it while you're on the phone.
Right.
It's as easy as that.
Right.
You just don't put things off.
Right. Right. When did this planning process start? You had this discussion when I'm sure you've been opening
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Did it pretty much take you a year to get everything set up, organized, and put in? Is that?
Yeah. Yep. It's a lot of thought processes put into when you're trying to handle parts that are 40 foot long. Just moving them around your plant, how you get them in, where do you put them when they're not in the way, how do you process it, where do you put it after you process it. You can't go out a door with a 40-foot part. Okay. So you have to be where your trailer will back in and you can pick up, spin, and load. That was a lot of it. When we started the plant, it was supposed to be an extrusion line for 2605, but we're seeing a lot more steel nowadays. And
Okay.
we still keep up the line in the washer for 2605.
Right. Right. So architectural, is that a lot of your business or
It's
right
about 25%.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And what are some of the other industries that you're working with that?
Well, a lot of it is conveyor equipment. We do a lot of yellow. Yellow is a very hard color to coat.
Why is that?
You usually can't get a good coverage on it. It's such a heavy powder. It's just hard to get that mill thickness on there. We've made recipes in the magic booth, and we've got it down to a science. So I keep telling the guys, it doesn't matter how much powder you spray because we reclaim everything. So usually when you spray the waste, you only get 25 square feet per pound. If you reclaim, you can get 50. We're doing a little better in that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
A lot of it is also in a lot of our business is in construction.
Okay.
And that's where we're getting a lot of the 50-foot, 40-foot extrusions from. And this is 6x6 by 3/8 tube, square tube.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty big.
Now we are getting a bit of work from like data centers, where they're making the equipment for the AC and the distribution cabinets, and then it's just job shop work.
Gotcha. How have you done that? How have you, like I said, I know you probably spent the first year sort of, working on getting everything built up. How did you go about, drumming up business, letting people know you're available to do their work with that?
Create a CRM. That work started, as soon as I found out we were doing layouts and everything, as soon as I started doing the layout and everything, that started, was the CRM. Putting the interest out there. Since I've been around for so long, I just let everybody know what I was doing. I started looking also at who was hiring. So when you look at engineers and manufacturing engineers, you find out what industry they're hiring for, and then you'll see the trend in the industry. That's the most important thing you need to look at. So it's a lot of word of mouth. I try to put this nicely, but there's some bottom feeders out there. Promise you everything, don't do anything. We guarantee your part. And we have people here that we pick up and deliver. We pick up one day, we deliver the next. If I sorry about that. If I tell you it's a 24-hour delivery, it's a 24-hour delivery. And there's a lot of companies that need that, and they're willing to pay accordingly.
Right.
And
Yeah, I
then
guess
most of the time we don't even do it because I have a great team of guys here. And the saying is around here, we don't leave until your parts are done.
right. Right.
And we
Again,
don't.
that goes back to the time you were a customer and you needed parts. You needed something. Not you don't need everything overnight, but you need a lot of stuff sometimes. And you understand that, I guess, that look, they do
Yeah.
need this. We have to move on this to get this stuff going, and that sort of again builds a good rapport with customers. And I'm sure they tell other people too about the service that you're going to provide them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't. If you bring it over here, I say it's gold. You're going to get your
Gotcha.
parts. It's going to be good. And anybody's welcome here anytime.
Right.
The customers, they come in here and, I don't care. You can hang around all day.
How many people do you have working there for you now in your operation?
We have on the floor, we have 11 guys. We have more that we can choose from. We have a core of 11 fantastic people.
Right. Right.
And they don't mind being here. I treat them like gold.
Yeah, that's
all
your
I
most
can
valuable asset, right? Better than any.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have the people to do that. And like I said,
People employees just want respect.
Right.
So if they know what they're doing, you leave them alone. They'll come to you with the problems. They'll identify it. It's great.
Do a lot of them have that powder coating experience? Is that something that you kind of had to teach them, or how did you go about with that?
A few of them had powder coating experience.
Mm-hmm.
A few of them had like shipping and receiving experience.
Mm.
And hanging is just taught. Each part is different. But now once you set the rules, the guidelines follow. It's got to be sloped. It's got to be dried. We identify tube. We bake it out. We know about castings. We know about everything. We don't know everything because we're only a year old. But, with shipping and receiving, that's an art form in itself. It's one thing to get the part powder coated and on a pallet. It's another thing to get it out of here wrapped up perfectly so it hits your customer intact.
Right. Exactly with that. Yeah. And, and like I said, you've gone for some very high end equipment that you're using out of the Gemma lines and everything else. You guys didn't really go cheap on this. I'm sure it cost
top of the line.
Right. I mean, was it hard to convince your partner that's what I want to get when there's, I'm sure but these are some pretty impressive pieces of equipment you're working with. So
actually, he was the one that was pushing it.
Right.
Not to be contrary. But the one partner, the majority, he was, no, we ought to do this. Let's get this automatic chemical addition and monitoring on all the chemicals for the washer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were putting this in and it was like, man, I haven't even seen half of this equipment before.
Right.
Even the RO, it's incredible how much capacity we have there. Employees coming in here. So, what's up, buddy? I'm on the... So, phone in everything. What's up? You good? Oh, he's giving me my credit card back.
That's always good to get it back. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's a good customer. You've taught them well with that. Like I said, the paint booth. I know you got what 12 automated guns on that.
That's 12 automated, 2 manual.
Yeah, that's a pretty unique piece of equipment there to work in. Like I said, the recipes and stuff you can put in, and it does a lot of work that maybe that technology wasn't around very many 15 years ago. But
anybody can spray black.
Mm-hmm.
We use a TCI lava black powder, and we call it our Frank's hot sauce because we put that crap on everything, and that's it works every case. When you start getting to the silvers, the yellows, the real heavy pigment ones, that's where it comes in and that booth really exceeds itself. Because once you get it nailed down, all you have to do is enter that recipe, yellow.
Right.
Now we got yellow nailed down by the recipe, but also by the vendor. Some yellows are good, some yellows aren't. You really have to find that one vendor that has a good yellow.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. The one that, kind of trial and error with it, see which one works best for you, then can keep that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And your wash, is that you said is that a Shimatov product that I think they use the non-phosphate.
No, we're using bulk.
Bulk chemical. Okay. Bulk chemical.
Bulk
Yeah. They have
flips, yeah.
yeah. That
It's,
works very,
Chemitel, I've used them before. Good product. But Tom Dealman retired, and he was the rep. And this guy I met through bulk, Brian Krecky, he knows his business. And he answers the phone. I like going with vendors that answer phones immediately. Oh, shit, it's Jim calling. I answer the phone when people call me. When I call you, answer the phone. Because I need to answer like right now.
Right. You wouldn't be calling unless it was something you needed to get done. So that's
I'm
right.
busy.
You all are up in Delaware, small state, but you guys are so close to the populations, right? You're so close to a lot of you're not too far away from hardly anything, it seems like there, right?
Yeah,
as far as manufacturing operations, you're real close to all the things in the Northeast, it seems like, pretty much.
Oh, we're having people ship stuff from Johnstown, PA. 5-6 truckloads of that long extrusion. No one on the East Coast can do 40-some foot.
Wow.
How
do you manage that? How do you manage something like that? You say it's not in line? Is that what you're saying? That it's not? What were you saying?
Oh, some of it is, but no matter what you hang on the line, you have to hang it 10 foot on center. In order for the rest of it hangs out to the side. In order for it to make the turns, right?
Gotcha.
So if it's around 30 foot, 33 foot, we'll hang on the line. It'll go through the washer. We don't have to worry about it. But you hang the first one at the top, 10 feet on center, and all the other ones underneath, depending on cumulative weight. But when it comes to like the 30, 33 up to what we're doing, whatever. We take and we use the same chemical we wash with, but we'll use a pressure washer. So we'll do a clean. First of all, when it comes to like galvanize, if it's just steel, we'll take and we'll spray it down, pressure washer, rinse it a couple times, do with dry in place zirconium, right? But if it's galvanized, and I knew galvanized. I know all the problems. A lot of people won't even do any galvanized anymore because of the white rust on it, right? And if it gets wet, it's hard to guarantee that. It's going to stick. We just did a huge bridge job for New Jersey, and I was worried about doing this. And it was all 43 footers, and it was like 4 truckloads. But I told them the issues, my concerns, this and that. But I know what you need to do. And one is you need to brush it, mechanically brush that. So we went out and bought stainless steel mops, about 18 inches long. And I would attack those pieces with like 4 guys. And we wipe each one of those down and we double hang one underneath the other using chain. After that, then you get into your wrenches and everything else. And then if it's still doing it, you have to hit it again.
Right.
So now I was more than concerned about doing that. I let them know they wanted me to do it. So we did it. And we overdid it on the pre-treatment and the mechanical aspect of it, profiling it. And they accepted it with flying colors. There was not one issue.
Wow, great. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to do that. It's they don't want to mess with it. It takes a little bit of experience and knowledge to know what you're doing with those galvanized. That's true.
Yeah,
And,
The experience and knowledge in powder coating comes from doing it before and then knowing what's going to happen. You're just sitting there going, I know what's going to happen. You know,
right.
it's going to last for like a week, and then or a year, and then it's going to pop off. Why? Because that's what galvanizing does. That's why it's galvanizing. It
Right.
off gases all the time.
Right.
But
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was going to say is anything sounds like I said with you sounds like you have a lot of experience, like I said, especially from the customer side of it. But anything surprise you since you've launched this thing a year ago? Anything kind of open your eyes a little bit about the whole experience of running an operation, a powder coating operation, or is it pretty much what you
uh,
expected? Or
no, because I've done it so many times, I know the steps.
hmm
A lot of people have problem with labor.
right, right, it's hard to
Um,
get sometimes, and then to keep them.
well,
So,
yeah, you're going to go through, because what we're doing here, it's a
hmm
very physically demanding
hmm
job. But once you get experienced guys, you treat them right. There's nothing like donuts in the morning, something for lunch. If there's anything left, take it home. Just understanding that people get tired. Sometimes they can't make it in every day.
right,
You
right,
know,
yeah,
so and if we do, we have overflow guys at night. Instead of working them like that, if they don't want to be here, I understand. We'll
right,
just bring in some of the guys that like to work part time. They'll come
right,
in.
right. It is, yeah, like I
It's
said, it's a big challenge that a lot of people confront with a lot of that, and so. And like I said, you've got quality measurements you have to meet, so you need people that are really vestedly interested in doing it, not really just coming in and, punching a clock. You need people that are really going to be interested in meeting those quality demands that you've got with that.
yeah.
Let me ask you. So when you were doing the engineering, I know you worked with John Bradshaw at Slocum. Is that something that you have pretty much had a vision of how you wanted this and kind of gave it to him and had him sort of plot it out, or how did that all work with you all with that?
Set the parameters.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we started designing the system, and I bought everybody in. I bought the chemical guys in, made sure this thing, the washboards, everything else, the nozzles. A big part of systems like this is between the stages, you have to keep the parts wet. So your washer has to have misting nozzles in between the stages
Right.
in order to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you need your chemical guy in there. He needs to let how big the tank should be, this and that. Plus the guy from Johnny Bradshaw, Slocum Equipment, and GAT, they're good. They're good.
They've
They
made a
know what
couple
they're
of those. You
doing.
can tell, right?
Yeah, man. And
Right.
I put their feet to the fire on it. I had
Right.
everybody. Then you get the booth guy. Then you throw the powder people at them. Then the oven. You got to make sure you have some cure time. What are we going to run? What speed? What can we handle? The oven capacity and stuff like that. It's a big part of it.
Right. Right.
You
Exactly. And
know?
like you said, you set the parameters, and at the end of the day, it's got to work exactly how you want it to work, and
Yeah.
that's the pressure they have to deliver on with that. So it sounds like they did a pretty good job of getting everything,
Yeah.
pretty
That
much
that
moving.
that there. I don't want to sound arrogant, but it's Burger King, man. It's got to be my way. I'm the one that has to run this. It's got to do it.
Right.
So if I say overdo it, you're overdoing it because you're not. I'm not getting stuck with a mediocre system, and we
Right.
don't, man. We have a nice system here. We
Right.
got
Yeah.
plenty of room.
Right. Yeah. Well, like
It's
you said, it sounds like you paid a pretty good price for it, so it better work every time and give you exactly what you need. And like you said, you've got that space now, 65,000. You've got that space, like you said, to store customer parts, and to do those things, which a lot of facilities just don't have that. Right.
no.
It's just not available for them to do that, which raises a problem. Like you said, put it in a parking lot, or they can't meet the delivery time with that. And it sounds like you all have sort of that was seems to me something you guys put well in advance. That's what you needed to have there to
Yeah.
make this all
Well,
work
when you
well.
start a business, especially doing powder coating, it's easy to you come with the mindset, I'm going to take anything that comes in here and we'll finish it. You don't want to do that. Stay within your parameters. If it's too big, too heavy, you haven't done it, it probably, probably not a good time to experiment with that. Also, there's plenty of bottom feeders out there. Let them have that low margin work.
Right.
You have a
Exactly.
baseline because you have to generate revenue.
Right.
You've got to pay this system off. You got to pay your rent.
Right.
So you can't take the, I'll give you umpteen work. Yeah, but if I'm not making any money on it, why do I want that work?
Right.
So
Exactly.
it's a ballet. And what it all comes down to now is that we're a year old. We're on our own. We don't have a line of credit. We don't have anything. We generate enough revenue to pay our monthly bills. That's not bad after 1 year. In
Not
fact,
at all, no.
next month will be the first year.
Oh, really? You're coming up on that? Okay, you launched it.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, like I said, that's pretty impressive. All that you've all have done, and like I said, and it seems to me, like I said, like we talked about, it's having the experience and planning it out correctly before you start doing anything, right? I mean, that's got to be.
It's all the upfront work.